The Money Matters Podcast tip of the day.
Rich people, they listen more than they talk. They listen more than they talk. They talk less and they listen more. They don't waste time just talking. Because, most of these rich people, when you get close to them, you realize they're very humble. They actually, they don't believe they know everything. They are not the smartest among everybody. They always know, everybody have some skill or some knowledge. There's always a possibility of something that they don't know about. So they listen more and they take notes on top of it. They don't just walk around acting like they know everything. When you talk to poor people or you try to give a poor person an advice, they wind up advising you. They seem to know everything. They know it all. They have all the experience, but they're poor. They don't realize in this world you are judged by results. You can have all the knowledge, all the skills, all the experiences. If you have nothing to show for it, if you have no results to show for it, everything else is it's pointless, But the poor people don't understand it. And that's the problem. So these rich people, they get paid to talk. Most of them get paid to just talk. And poor people just talk for free. And, disturb people with their ideas and plans that they do nothing about. They just talk, but they don't actually put no action to it.
Yeah, and I think one of those philosophical people said that you keep repeating what you know as you talk. The only time you learn something is when you listen to others. And the more you know, the more you can, position yourself for success. But if you're only going to go and just keep talking, and as you talk, you're only repeating the things that you know, there's no way you're going to learn. The only time you learn is when you just be quiet, calm down, humble yourself, and listen to others. And, you'd be shocked to learn things from people that you least expected to, learn or get that info from. So the more we come down and listen to others, that's the more we learn. So I can understand why and how the rich folks are listening to others, kind of make them better and also help them make more money because they're learning and getting more information every time they listen to people.
Yes. Right? Sometimes people who are poor or mediocre, they don't want to accept that, So they're always trying to prove a point. Exactly. Try to give a reason why they're poor, maybe because, they want to prove to you that they know something. But at the end of the day, it's the results.
At the end of the day, it's the results.
It's the results that matters. Nobody cares how you got there, who told you why, what kind of experience you have. How hard you worked, how lazy you were, how smart. You judge by results. If you could be the smartest person in this world. At the end of the day, if you have nothing to show for it, no results, what you believe, what you think means nothing.
Exactly. It's just like the educational system back home and the educational system back in the Western world. Back home, they're so smart. But at the end of the day, that smartness don't translate into anything.
Well, what's the definition of smart?
Exactly. Home? They can recite and memorize so much and recite them whenever you ask them. Before you even ask them, they're already reciting these things. But then again, how many of them do understand what they are saying?
A smart person is a person that is, that can understand and use your brain to
use the information, the knowledge that you have to create.
To create something out
of
it.
But then again, we don't.
If you just remembering stuff, that's not smartness. That just means you know how to memorize something.
That means you have good retentive memory. That's it.
You have a good memory to memorize somebody else's book that they wrote. That's about it. You're not coming out with anything new.
That means that does not make that book your own.
It's not yours. If you use it and you don't cite it, you could be charged with plagiarism. So you got to be smart about that.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure you listen more, than you talk. Because like people say, God gave us 2 ears for a reason. So we could listen more.
Yeah.
You have 2 ears. God could have just given us 1 ear. But he gave us 2 ears so we could listen more. And, we have 1 mouth. So you listen more, then you talk less. And you listen to what other people have to say. You learn from them. You take notes. You don't walk around and be prideful. At the end of the day, if you're successful, you know. If you're not successful, you know too. So you're not fooling nobody. You're only fooling yourself. So if you want to be rich, if you want to be successful, be honest with yourself, talk less, learn from other people. So, because it's so obvious that your strategy, your plan is not working or hasn't been working. So you cannot just, pretend to anybody. Stay true to yourself. Listen more, talk less.
Thank you for listening to the Money Matters Podcast Tip of the Day.